What is up, YouTube? We're here today. I'm going to show you guys how to install Windows 98 in VirtualBox. Now, I did a video tutorial on Windows 98 2nd edition back in 2019, but haven't been able to. Well, I did do Windows 98 1st edition back in 2019, but I decided to delete it. So, without further ado, let's get this started. So, the first thing you need is VirtualBox. The second thing you need is a boot disk that you will need later, because we need to actually a copy of fix that you'll see at the end of the setup. And the third link you need is the Windows 98 ISO. It's going to be the retail version. I think it's a bootable copy. And then the fourth thing you need is an NDIS ISO fix. Well, the NDIS.vxd file that you're going to need. So let's get this started. So we're going to click on new, and we're going to type in Windows 98, then hit next. And I'm going to actually increase the size to 256 megabytes, and then hit next, create, next, create. Then click on settings, storage, click on the empty disk. Oh, before we do that, you have to go to system, and if you have older version of VirtualBox, you have an option to actually disable a VTX AMD, but we'll get to that later. Newer versions, you don't have it. Then click on storage, empty disk, and you're going to look for that Windows 98 ISO. Mine's going to be in here. Then click on OK, and then click on start. Then we're just going to boot from CD-ROM, and then we're going to start Windows 98 setup from CD-ROM. And this should bring us the blue screen setup. Then hit enter, then make sure it's set to yes, enable large disk support, and then hit enter, and then hit enter, and then once again boot from the CD-ROM, and then make sure it's still set to number 1, and then it's going to format the drive. So it's going to start the setup, so it's going to format the drive, and then we should be in the second phase of setup by then. And now it's going to format the drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. Once that's done, just hit enter, and then it's going to do a scan disk. And now it's going to copy file needed for Windows setup. And then just click on continue. And then it's going to prepare the wizard. So this might take some time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. Once you get to this screen, make sure you set to C Windows and then hit next. And then it's going to check for installed components. So this might take some time depending on the hardware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. Once you get to this screen, make sure either one of these are set. I'll just usually do typical and then hit next. And then show me the list of components. Actually, I'm just going to install the most common components. Usually the first option, then hit next. Computer name, I'm just going to type in Windows 98. And then hit next. Also make sure you're set to workgroup. You can choose a specific region. I just usually have United States and then hit next. And now we're going to copy files, so we're going to click on next, and then it's going to copy files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. Now it's ready to restart, so we're going to click on restart now. and then it's going to restart the virtual machine, and now boot from the hard disk. So it's going to get ready to run Windows for the first time, and then we should be getting into the second phase of setup. And then right here, you just type in your name. I just usually type in my name and then hit next. Then I accept the agreement and then hit next. And now you have to type in your product key. So I'll have the product key for you guys if you want to if you want to use that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type in the product key. So I'll be back. This is going to be your product key right here. You can pause the video if you like. So when you're ready, just go ahead and click on next. And then click on finish. And now it's going to finish the setup. It's going to look for any hardware, and then we should get the next restart point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. Now it's ready to restart, so go ahead and click on restart now. Now at the end of the setup, you'll see an error show up. If it ever does that, we're just going to boot from a hard disk. And then it's gonna finish the setup. It's gonna look for any more hardware. And one case it gave us an error saying that not all the hardware can be found. So that could be the subject of having that NDIS ISO. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video. So I'll be back. When you get to this screen where it's gonna ask you for your time zone, you can choose your specific time zone. I just have it set to Pacific time, and then click on close, and that's gonna finish the setup. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video, so I'll be back. Now it's ready to restart. Let's see if we can eject the ISO. No, we can't. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just click on restart now, and then what we may want to do is we're just going to force unmount it, and then what we're going to do is we need to insert any Windows 9X boot disk. I'm just going to use a Windows Me boot disk just for fun, but I'll just do you know what, let's do Windows 95, why not? We're just going to reset. And we're going to just load the NEC driver because we need to actually copy a file in there called NDIS.vxd. So now I'm just going to look for that ISO. It's going to be in here. So let me go and look first, so I'll be back. Once there, just type in C:, and type in dir, then type in CD Windows, then CD system, and then what you're going to do is you're going to type in copy and d:/NDIS.vxd, then enter, and then hit Y and then hit enter. And now go ahead and restart the system. So we're going to just reset the system, then we should get to the desktop. So it's going to start over, and then it's going to log us in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. Once you get to this screen, just hit enter, and there you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. And just like that, you have successfully installed Windows 98 in VirtualBox. So thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitter, RibbonOff17. Also follow me on Instagram, RibbonOff Transfer Fan. So that's how I install Windows 98 in VirtualBox. So I'll see you next time.